What's up, guys, and welcome back for another EVE Online solo Null-Sec episode. This one I'm just going to be kind of talking about where we're at in the whole manufacturing kind of goal that's going on here in Null-Sec. Kind of give you an idea of what I'm working on and kind of what the intermediate goals are right now. We've gotten everything that we've acquired from Jita out here in Null, and we're already starting to run reaction jobs and research jobs. A lot of what we're doing is getting the base of the composite research or reactions done, and starting with just like mineral efficiency on the BPOs, and also just running fuel block manufacturing jobs to help fuel the reaction stuff. So this is all the current jobs we got running right now. As you see, I'm making some hydrogen and nitrogen blocks, and then I've got 10 reaction jobs going on. A lot of them are about 27 days out and about 400 runs. It's maxed out. So for carbon fiber, thermosetting polymer, sulfuric acid, all this stuff is going to help go into building core temperature regulators, and then eventually capital core temperature regulators. And then we have the Sharon blueprint in here. It's got 27 days for 8% mineral efficiency. That BPO is pretty much going to sit in there for a while until we can get as close to 1020 as we can. And then I've really started to kind of like load up all the stuff, all the mods and BPOs that go into the Sino, the Venture Sino, and then just some other secondary and tertiary BPOs for other Tech 2 manufacturing. But other than that, that is kind of what we're running now. And this tune is now 10, 10, and 10 in terms of the manufacturing, research, and reaction jobs that it can run. Now, this is what we've got here that still needs to be run through. So we've got a lot of stuff that still needs to go through research here. So under stabilizers 1, we got that one at 10. It's got to go back in for 20% time. And then we're running the nanite repair paste. We're doing the PI for that. That really just takes value that's kind of generated from PI, and it kind of just puts it in a smaller package. So I use nanite repair paste on my Tengu, but most of the time that is just a straight export because it's a very high ISK per M3. So we're not producing it at a crazy volume, but it's also just kind of like a very consistent potential source of income once a month. The ventures here, we build the ventures based on ore that we bring in from high seg. Mostly trit is what we're bringing in, but then I'm also doing ratting, and I'm melting all the ore or all the loot. And every time I go run a rat site, I can pretty much melt it down and build a venture, and those are all will go in and be used as sinos. And then all the RAM stuff, we kind of worked a little bit through all the RAM stuff. It's anywhere between 4 to 6%, but this stuff will all kind of just make its way up to 1020. And then we have basically all the capital parts for the Sharon, and then eventually the Array jump freighter, and that stuff's going to all get plugged into here as well. Another thing I'm going to be focusing on here pretty soon, probably before we actually get to building the freighters, is going to be mobile tractor units. Those things sell like hotcakes out here in Null-Sec because people forget to bookmark them, they lose them, they get destroyed. So those are a really good thing to be producing as well. And then I have like the Badger and the Blackbird BPOs. Those they initially got done. I did a copy run on both of those because once we get 2 more research slots open, we're going to be doing an invention. We're going to be doing invention for the Blackbird into Falcon BPCs, and the Badger is going to get invented into Crane BPCs, which we will be producing that stuff once we get to that point. Everything else here is rigs and the different types of sinos. So covert sino, just a regular sino, industrial sino, and then really just the stuff I use for sino ships that I can sell locally here has really been kind of the focus. And then obviously like interdiction nullifier, I use that on the Crane. So essentially I have all the mods that I use on my Crane, all the mods that I use on my Falcon and Venture Sino that I'll be producing, not just for my own use, but also for the local market or people here locally. And then things like the tractor beam. The tractor beam 1 has to actually be made to go into the MTU, so that's one reason I've got that. And then I brought my Caldari shuttle blueprint out here. I'll probably make a pretty decent run of those, because putting them into keep stars out here on markets is a good way to make a little bit of cash. They don't take a whole lot to make. The biggest thing about the shuttles are they're just a little bit complicated to kind of move around because they do weigh quite a bit. But I do end up selling quite a bit of them because people who want to just kind of gate to different areas of null, or they want to gate back to high sec, will buy a cheap freighter from a keep star, and after planting or getting a clean clone and just kind of do stuff there. So I'll probably do a nice run of those. As far as everything else, we're still kind of working on some skills in terms of reprocessing. I still have a good amount of compressed ice that I still have to run through. I will essentially be just kind of burning through and building as much fuel blocks as possible. Anything I don't use in reactions. After a few iterations through reactions, I'll know kind of what I really want to focus on there, and that'll give me an idea what to focus on as far as moon mining. But I do have a good significant amount of moon goo already. I think I got, about 250,000 ish of all the common moon goo. The rare stuff is a little bit more harder to come by, but I'm not really doing anything that really requires that right now. Producing all 15 of the P1 for PI, that allows me to do all the PI that goes into Tech 2 manufacturing, into the mobile tractor unit stuff. And I kind of just build process planets and run through certain things for certain manufacturing jobs, and then when I'm done I kind of reconfigure everything. But having all 15 P1 gives me the base to do all that stuff as needed. I also just hold additional command centers here in case I need to swap a planet or reconfigure a planet. For instance, if I'm doing P4, then that has to go on certain planets. That certain planets are only allowed to have the high-tech factory. But I try to stay on Barren for mostly all of my processing because it has a smaller radius, and so you can fit all 25 factories on there. And also Barren is good for the high-tech factories for P4 and all of that. But really a lot of what we're doing now is just kind of taking raw, processing it while also doing research, and then just you working on reactions. The reactions, we're running them, we're doing as many runs as we can. So I would say in probably about a month from now, we're going to be set up really, really well in order to actually do a good majority of the stuff we need. So go look at copies here. We, like you said, we have a 10 run copy of the Blackbird and Badger. We'll run through inventions on that and see if we get lucky. And then for reactions, we have every single reaction out here. So I've got all of the biochemicals, because I will probably start experimenting with blue pill and crash stuff. And then we have all the composite ones, and then the hybrid polymers, and then the intermediate materials, all that stuff, and then the molecular forge stuff. And so all this stuff will end up getting used in some sort of manufacturing down the road. I just decided to, spin the ISK and go ahead and just have these on site, just to make things as easy as possible for me. But as far as moving forward with this series, we're going to get more in depth, and I'm going to go more into the reactions and the invention. I think that probably in the next episode after this, I will talk a lot about invention. Once I get a few more BPCs, I want to do maybe 5 runs, invention runs at a time, and just kind of see how that goes. But thank you for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.